Hello, welcome to part 5 where I'm talking about toxins. Today will be a little different. I am going to be talking about the toxins that, the main toxin that I haven't addressed yet, and that is stress. I've talked about a lot of toxins that are environmental and chemical and even, things that we can even take in our medicines. And I'm not saying that taking medicines is bad, but unfortunately there's a lot of ingredients in the medications that can be toxic. So we need to just be very careful with what we take and be knowledgeable. But stress is actually a toxin. It is toxic to our body and it's toxic to our well-being. And this past year, of course, has been incredibly stressful for everybody around the world. And it can still go on to have that stress. And we can't avoid stress in this life. So we need to learn how to deal with it in such a way that it doesn't truly become toxic in our lives. Stress can also show up even in good things, right? We can be having good changes. It could be a job change. It could be all sorts of things. But even those good things can be stressful for us. And I was contemplating that because I am going through different changes as well in my life. And it can be stressful. And so as I was praying about that the other day, God was reminding me of this comparison. And so the comparison is back in kind of biblical times, that time frame of human history. People would use animal skins to put wine in. And the wine, a lot of times when they put it in, it wasn't real fermented at the time. It would be kind of new wine. So in other words, like strong grape juice. They'd put it in a new, fresh animal skin, and then it could ferment. And because the animal skin was fresh, it was real pliable and it could expand because fermentation causes gas and all these things. And so the fresh wine skin could expand and accommodate the fermenting wine. Well, when they wanted to have more new wine, you couldn't use an old wine skin to put that new fresh wine in, because as the wine fermented and had the gas production, everything, if the skin was old, it would actually crack and all the wine would just leak it right out and you would lose it. And God was reminding me that is similar, certainly in my life, and it can be in your life as well. Are there changes coming in your life where you have to put aside the old wineskin? So it could be, jobs. It could be, maybe you're moving, different things. Because what he wants to do is something new in your life. And in order to accomplish whatever it is, he needs a nice, fresh, new wineskin. And I think we can apply that with transitions in our lives and to realize that, yes, it might be stressful, but if we realize that something new and wonderful is going to be coming out of this, and that we have to put aside the old wineskin and have the new wineskin in order for this new change and process to ferment, because fermented wine, right, as it ferments, it actually gets better as it ages. It gets better and better. Well, in order for us to experience that, we need to have it in a new wineskin. So as you're going through changes in your life, examine it through that lens. Is it that you need a new wineskin right now to hold these changes? Because if you put it in the old wineskin, it's just going to crack and everything's going to just run all over the floor and it's going to be wasted. So I encourage you, as we go through these changes together and different ones, and everybody has something different, What are things that you can do to assist with your stress level? I really encourage you to pray. To realize that there is someone greater, thankfully, than us, who is caring for us. I encourage you to think of life as more than just what surrounds us. Instead of us being the center of the universe, to be thinking about what is it, what is greater than ourselves, and how can we be used in a greater purpose, which is going to give us a much, much broader perspective on life. What are also just some very practical things you can do during the day or each day to help with your stress level? That would be something that you enjoy. For instance, on this day, this evening, later, I am going to go to ballet. Yes, I am in my 50s and I take a ballet class. I was in the ballet recital and it was so much fun. Not because I'm any good, but because it was fun. And dancing and moving to the music. So what is it that you enjoy? What is something you can think of that you can do or add in that maybe you haven't been doing and you're like, I really need to get back to doing that? Because we need to have those things that we really enjoy and bring us joy inside. That helps to reduce our stress. And of course, how are you eating? It's so much easier a lot of times, right, when we're stressed to really, let our food choices go down the tubes. But actually that just puts more stress on our bodies. Because when we are not healthy, it stresses our body. So that just adds to our stress. So think about your diet and think about what it is that you're doing, because the more healthy your diet is, you'll actually be reducing the stress on your body. Additional things that you can do, what are there people, relationships in your life that you think, wow, I really need to reach out to that person? Don't wait for them to reach out to you, right? Take the first step. Be willing to take the first step, particularly if it's a relationship that's kind of gone by the wayside and that was an important person. So step out and take that first step. So remember, stress is toxic when we allow it to get to a level that we're not appropriately dealing with, and when it's always constant. There can be things, right, that we can't change, unfortunately, but we can focus on what is it that we can do. We can focus on how could this be an opportunity to maybe get rid of an old wineskin and put on a new wineskin, and what can we do so that way we're participating in having a view of our life where this life is not just revolving around us, but there's a much bigger purpose that God has for us. Take care.